We at
But
24.
if you do your research on Emerald Lake, you'll find that the county is in is called the Silver Bow, right?
Mm,
Now we talking Sagittarius, was it Aries the Archer?
mm, mm.
But when you look at the shape of the county of Silver Blow, it's shaped just like the Liberty Bell.
I gotta load this up. Hey, hey, you keep talking, Rob. Well, I gotta start riding, but I'm gonna just switch to my phone.
um, we gonna be wrapping it up pretty soon.
All right,
We're
well,
gonna take a couple. Let's take about 3, 4 questions.
all right, we go ahead. Hey, y'all got any questions based on what we talking about now and what's going on the land? Drop them in the chat, man. Drop them questions in the chat. Um, this is from Little Rock. Shout out Little Rock, man, in the building. It says, if you're just not coming in, you might have to roll it back, man. We was talking about the 4 girls making the connection with the 4 girls in the
Mm.
bombing. It says, "What's next? What's next in 18? Do you see?" They say, "Do you see anything happening in Atlanta, Rod, with all this going on? Like, that they are playing some in Atlanta, like a part of this chaos."
Atlanta got away about 4 years ago. They was trying to plant a dirty bomb, and I got a video where I was remote viewing it, and I seen it when they captured the dirty bomb. It was in back of a semi.
Uh huh.
So the time to get Atlanta,
Pass.
um, right now they can get another bite at the apple if Atlanta keep indulging in nefarious activities in the community.
Uh, Makes sense.
They're gonna cause they controlling the energy frequency. If it's too much negative shit going on, like it was where them fires was at,
Uh huh.
they
Mm-hmm.
gonna catch some. They gonna catch some shit down there.
So pretty much, this is the Big Mama Universal Energy, pretty much pulling her belt off, handling no,
Whooping that ass.
yeah. And I know
Everybody,
like
everybody don't get the same whooping. We all get the whooping to according to how Big Mama see the dirt we did.
yeah, it ain't no. Hey, look, the people the shit that's this happening to, it ain't nobody poor and the people that ain't doing. It's the rich people that been doing all this stuff. Everybody that stuff that's burning down, it's the people who the bad guys. Really, when you think about it, it's the
This,
bad guys, man.
yeah, this not no accident.
Nah,
Look, and nobody not noticing on each coast we between fire and ice.
yep, that's right. Icy hot. Ice, hey, you put icy hot on your neck, lead. Big Mama put that icy hot on her knee, man. And that shit, that Big Mama got to be burning though, boy. I ain't lying. That shit burn a hole in your leg.
I'm not sure which black flag they talking about. If it's a MIAPOW flag or what, a black U.S. flag, which means take no prisoners. I'm not sure what the flag, what black flag. I didn't see it. You want to look it up, Elder?
Hold on, I can look it up for you real quick while we waiting. Hold on, let me see. I got you right here. I'm gonna look at it right now. Okay, this is okay. Here we go. Here we go. Another one. All right. Let me look it up. It says, "What area in the U.S. are safe zones with mountains for us to shelter at when poop hit the fan?" I guess we're talking about like a nuclear explosion or something.
Ain't gonna be no nukes.
That's what I said. That extraterrestrials ain't gonna let them do it. They already said it. They ain't gonna let them pull off a nuke. And if
Ain't gonna
they
be no
do,
nukes.
ooh, that's gonna be
It might be some big ass bombs, but they're not gonna be nukes.
yeah, yeah. Black
Yeah.
flag.
If you want to see what I mean by big ass bomb, go to YouTube and type in Moab bomb, mother of all bombs. It was tested by George W. Bush, G. Dummy, when he was about to, right before, I think it was right before 9/11.
Uh-huh.
But they tested it. It's called the Moab bomb, mother of all bombs. But that's not a nuclear bomb. It's just explosives, volatile explosives in high density concentration to render a mega blast.
Yeah, I see people talking about that black flag. Um, hold on.
The MIA POW flag is for missing in action prisoners of war. They still have operations going on around the world where they was taking prisoners of war that haven't been returned home yet. And you got a lot of people that went missing during combat. And you got us, we prisoners of war on the land. So the flag is the battle cry for the ones that's prisoners of war.
Says gay rights and black. Hey, some people saying says it's for gays and Black Lives Matter.
No, not the POW, not the POW flag.
No, the black flag. They say it's for says these are the green lines. Says these support cops, firefighters, and military at all times. Police support officers started popping up after crash. Police shooting on black people. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's just some decorations look like. It says, look, what is Project 2025? We already put a tape. Hey, go back on the video side. We got a whole tape out called Project. What is Project 2025? It's the government, the government trying to wean the American people off because they going out of business. So they don't want to just leave you hanging. They gonna try to give you a severance pay. It's like a severance pay type of thing. And then they go out of business. They really don't got nothing to really give you because they really don't got nothing. But you know, they gonna try to give whatever they got once Donald Trump liquidate all the assets. That's what he coming in and do. Donald Trump gonna liquidate the assets.
You remember when you asked me why all that UN stuff was all across the land, and I told you that America, the foreclosure, we was getting it all back.
Yeah, they collect, right? That's what a liquidator do. He goes collect all the assets. He got to bring all that back. That's why he went and got the gold. That's why Trump went and got the gold. All this is a series of events that's happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now we are almost to grand finale part where we realize that we won a war, good versus evil. By no matter how much evil was done to us, we still remain to be the good.
Yeah.
By standing in a position of right, telling the truth. And the ones in the position to right, them the righteous.
This is what I'm saying though, Roy. Why the hell they paying? I understand why they paying the Japs. They blew the Japs off into space, right? 19, they blew. But why are they paying the Israelites, these so-called Israelites over here, and we ain't got paid? After what our lady did to us, why we ain't getting paid and they paying some Israelites? I know why because the black thing about the black thing for the Moors. I'm talking about it just don't make sense still to why these Israelites over here could get paid and America didn't even do nothing to them. The Germans blew them up. The Americans didn't blow them up. The United States corps didn't blow them unless they was in with the Germans on the
you gotta also add to that the U.S. economy is the #1 financier of the state of Israel.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Why they paying all that money to them and they don't even got nothing to do with them? Unless
it go back to World War One and the Balfour Declaration before any of that ever happened to them.
okay.
When in World War One, when they was running out of money to fight the war, they went to the Jewish bankers. And the condition was to establish the state of Israel.
Man, that makes sense. I think I
This is
read
during World War One. It's the document is called the Balfour Declaration. Once it was agreed upon by the United States, France, and Britain, it was actionable in the international law for them to pull that marker when they was ready. They
So they're gonna
pulled
steal
it.
somebody else's land and then stake their fucking flag down on it.
Right. Yeah. Now, they got to first figure out where they want to go. If you go back and look at the time that they was chartering the state of Israel, I think it was Ralph Bunch, bitch ass, went over there and carved out their lines of demarcation. But before that, they had a total of like 12 different places that supposed to be their promised land. So they didn't even know where it was supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now, once they settled on taking Israel, why did they settle on that?
Palestine, right?
Yeah. But why did they settle on that geography?
Because they had all that or something, I don't know.
Oil.
Yep.
Oil. Industrial revolutionary oil.
Yeah.
Now, at the time that they discovered that oil over there, you got to remember, you had this company called Shell, and you had one called American Standard. That was the oil manufacturers in the Americas under their cousins, the
Rockefeller.
Right. They were financiers, oil and railroad owners. Right. Now go look at the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
It's a game they playing. They only gonna help they own. So they leverage that knowledge of or that need in order to fight the war because they funding both sides anyway.
That's right. Get down to it now.
And where could they be funding them from other than Switzerland, a neutral territory?
Go ahead.
I'm not taking sides in y'all war, but here goes some money to both of y'all. Fight it out.
Pay me though. Yeah, both of y'all gonna pay me.
Yeah.
No matter who lose or win.
Because you're gonna need some money again. Because after the war, you're gonna need to come back because you're gonna have to do something called building infrastructure. Right? So when they come in to build the infrastructure, if I turn down the loan, you just living in squalor.
Right.
You living in a war-torn community. Like we've been living ever since they've been burning us out of Philadelphia and burning us out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and burning us out of Rosewood and burning us out of I don't know how many cities in Mississippi. I don't know how many in Alabama. I don't know how many in Louisiana. They were setting our cities on fire. So burn their ass back up just like they burnt us up.
Right. Because they the projects that's getting burnt. It's the rich folks.
Right. Now look, the same people that's controlling the purse strings on the wars is also controlling the purse strings on the building of the civilization, or what they call the revolutionizing of the civilization. So you're gonna have a revolutionary change in the civilization over a period of time. Right? So the revolutionary change is turning everything around in their favor was the goal. But we don't want to be their slaves and we don't want to be working for them. And matter of fact, we competent and capable enough to handle our own affairs where they can get out of the seat as the caretakers of our estates. Right. We don't need
We ain't wars no more.
And Britain trained them to be bankers and lawyers, and they all part of the gentry. but we don't need them. We got Chiefs. We
Right.
got badass Braves. Them young YGs coming up. Right? We
Right.
got them soldier sisters like Sister Soldier that's coming with their fist pumping, telling them that we ain't taking that shit no more. This
Nah.
ain't your Martin Luther King generation. We
Hell
hold
no.
grudge like hyena hold bites.
You ain't finna hit us with no brick and think you finna just go, yeah, man, they crazy.
No,
Nah,
we believe in self-defense.
yeah, you hit me with a brick, we gonna shoot, we gonna start open up the can of whoop ass on your ass. This time, two
Mm-hmm.
cans. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna open 2 cans. Martin Luther King should have opened up a can of whoop ass. But Byron Rustin them,
He
they
couldn't.
put
You got to
yeah,
remember that was one of the restraints for us to be able to have the opportunity to reclaim it back, as we couldn't take them to bloody war unless we give them an extension.
damn.
So Martin couldn't go to war with them.
And Martin had them guns at first before Byron Rustin.
Garvey had it. Go back and look at the pictures of Garvey.
Yeah,
He had an
yeah,
army with him
yeah, he did.
of us.
Yeah. And them boys had Terry Bushes on.
And he was teaching how to rebuild and control and govern civilizations.
And
He
he
wasn't
hooked up with number
he
2
wasn't
Ali.
just, he just wasn't no activist.
Nah.
Right? But we get this we know that it's people that look like us that ain't us that got us in this condition, but we have a propensity to blame the wrong ones for doing the dirt when they did the most good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the enemy is always going to shovel dirt on the ones that you can hold up as your best examples of heroes. One of my favorite books of all time is Message to the People by Marcus Garvey. Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, I got that book.
Right? He give you so many jewels, goddamn it, you can be twisting caps and busting heads by learning to the stuff that he telling you that need to be learned. How we need to organize. What's the secret behind the oppression? How do we break free? He looking. When he figured it out, he left us a message. He said it might have been. He said if we had to wait 200 years.
Start off with the Anunnaki pantheon. Can you explain this to us, brother?
The Anunnaki pantheon consists of the father Anu. Anu got have 2 wives. One of his wives is the mother to Enlil and Inanna. Another one of his wives is the mother to Enki, and then he got other concubines that have children, but the man is Anu, right? The Anunnaki are both matrilineal and patrilineal. It depends on which planetary system they operating on, whether they follow matrilineal or patrilineal, because they following the primary rulership gender of the planetary body that they inhabited, right? So there's a lot of scientists in the pantheon, or the ones that we came in contact with. There's a lot of military personnel that we came in contact with, and we call them stuff like the god of the development of genetic engineering, the god of implements of war and stuff like this, right? But it's just telling you more of what they do when they're not here. And is the godship is really just the lineage from the people that amalgamated with them. That's why they say the godship was passed, or the rulership was passed from from having the earth by Anunnaki. That's the tablets that's telling that stuff, right? One of my worst things I like to talk about, but I have to talk about it because there's so many people in the research field, and that's anything that is dealing with outside of the earth. I don't like talking about aliens, extraterrestrials, extra dimensional beings, because we don't focus enough on what's going on Earth and the stuff that's controllable. We want to take a big bite out of something we have no control over. So for a long time, I wouldn't even answer questions on nothing alien. But now we at a point where the Congress of the United States is admitting there's extraterrestrials in the ocean, extraterrestrials sending ships to the Earth. They have the bodies of aliens or extraterrestrials. They call them biologics, meaning they got a body. Then they're given a whole disclosure in congressional hearings, and now it's like you can't evade the questions no more. You can't say, well, we need to worry about Earth now, because now whoever it is, whether they extraterrestrial, whether they extra dimensional, whether they live primarily under the water, whether they live in the Earth, wherever they from, whether they from a different timeline, whether they somebody from the future that hack time travel, it's somebody here that ain't supposed to be here or that wasn't always here. And the movement of governments, we had South Korea tried to establish a martial law, but it got turned over by the people and the elected officials that could override the mandate. Then you had France fail. Now you have one of them countries in the Middle East, I think it's Syria, is falling. Right. This is just the beginning. All these governments have to go for the new system to take place. And this Anunnaki discussion is part of the discussion of what Christians call the return of the Christ, or what the Muslims call the coming Mahdi, what the Hindus call the return of Krishna. It's all the same thing. Right. And we get these stories, but we don't know the source documents. While I was waiting to get on, somebody said something about